As always, before we will begin, I would like to make sure that everybody can see the screen here and that you can hear me properly. So if you can please comment in the question section that the sound is okay and that the screen here is visible. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, very well. Let's see the audio on my end. Does it work? It seems so. Okay, guys. So everybody can see the screen here and hear me properly, so we can begin. Excellent, excellent. So let's just start. As always, we receive the live Q&A. I'm going to explain how it will happen, and of course, if you have any questions along the way, feel free to use the question section to use whatever you want during the webinar. The purpose of this live Q&A is to give you an opportunity to ask questions that, hello to you too, okay, that you would want to ask regarding the company or the services or the trading or the platform, anything that you want. This is the place, okay? So there is no need to raise your hand or to wait until I get to a specific topic. You can just shoot the questions through the question section like we have done last time. I think we have done a very good job last time that I was with you. And I would like to apologize. Yesterday I couldn't make it to the beginners webinar. We're going to have it next week as usual. And okay, so the structure for the live Q&A is that we will begin with the comment questions as always. Let's examine quickly. Okay, so the comment questions that we have here, you see some interesting questions. This one is very famous one. Okay, dynamic questions will be the second segment, and then some informations that I'm gonna provide you guys. I'm gonna send you over the chat. And let's the analysis. Okay, so we're gonna have a word about analysis if we'll get the time. Otherwise, if we'll have questions regarding analysis, perhaps I will explain during the webinar. Okay, so let's have this disclosure. It's important to know that any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only. It should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. Let me just quickly make sure that the webinar is recorded as it's supposed to be, and this is a great time to say that the webinar will be uploaded to YouTube later on. So even if you missed part or you had to go in the middle or you joined later, still you can enjoy the webinar later on in our website, in our channel at YouTube. And yeah, that's it. So I'll be back very shortly and then we will begin. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, it seems like everything is in place. This is the web trader. Let me just make sure that everything works as it should be. Okay, perfect. And we will begin with reviewing the presentation and going through the questions. Okay, so our questions today are, let's see, how can I get better in trading? Okay. How can I improve? Advanced level, does that mean that the question is referring to somebody who is advanced? Okay, we'll try to cover that in a moment. How many trades should I take per day? Okay, how much money do I need to open 0.01 with CL? So that's crude oil. Okay. How can I add more instruments to my plan? Okay, how can I get the senior account manager? This one is going to take me 10 seconds to answer. The others are, this is from last week, right? This a lot of questions. Very nice. Okay, so we will begin with the common questions as I said, and the first one is how can I get better in trading? This is a very interesting question, but I gotta say that this question is very, very open wide. Okay, why? Because to get better in trading, there are a few aspects. Trading is not just trading for itself, it's made of few layers. So trading will be, let me just paste the question here real quick. Okay, but let me guys, let me hear what you, let me see what you think, guys. How, let's suppose that I'm already advanced. Let's suppose that this is already advanced level, right? So how can I get better in trading? What should I do? Let's suppose I'm not a beginner. I already know the concept, how it works, just while I'm trading. How can I get any better? What would you recommend to somebody who wants to become better? That already knows how to trade. Okay, so let's suppose that I have few things to cover. Okay, if regardless if I'm a beginner, if I'm intermediate or advanced, I have few things to cover, right? I have something called analysis. I have something called risk money management. And I have something I like to call money comparison or budget, right? Budget efficiency. Now, once I have the analysis, fundamental and technical analysis, so we have fundamental analysis and technical analysis, right? With risk money management, we have the exposure and margin usage, right? And with the budget, we have something called balance comparison. Okay, there is a question here by Ayman. Hi, I have a question about AvaSocial. Okay, let me just quickly, I'm not sure I'm going to answer this one right now because it seems, but let's paste it over here. Question, okay, different options, but it makes a copy. Okay. 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 We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Just gonna leave it here for a bit. Good question though. And we'll be back to our business. So how can I get better in trading? So let's suppose that I do the analysis and I do risk money management, and with the budget I'm pretty okay. So that's more about efficiency. How can I get better? Now, the definition for better. Let's suppose that right now I want to make $1,000, okay? And I'm making this $1,000. How can I get any better? I can make $2,000, right? Or I can make the $1,000 with less effort and with less margin. Okay, so I make the 1,000. I make 1,000 because this is my goal. Maybe I can aim higher, but to become better at trading, it's not really, there is not really a secret ingredient. Once you grasp the idea of how it works, it's just to practice and make more comparison. So for instance, I have a balance of $10,000 and I want to make $1,000, right? Is an example. And if I get to those $1,000, so I can just aim and make $2,000, and then to aim $5,000, and then $10,000 is an example. Okay, now when we are trading, we always can gain and lose, right? So it's inevitable, guys. There is no, I mean, if you can show me, I'll be impressed, but I don't know any individual after a little more decade of experience that is not losing. Okay, so to become better, I would say if you're making the amount that you want and you can somehow reduce the loss, right? So this is what I would call better in trading. Okay, but those things are quite essential. Once I'm covered with analysis, risk money management, and my budget, I'm pretty much good at trading. Okay, as long as I make more than I lose. But this comparison between the loss and the profit and the loss, this is what makes somebody, I guess, maybe better or less. Okay, so how can I get better? I would put here. Let me just quickly paste those things here. Okay, I hope that it doesn't make a mess. How can I do that? Let's try and paste it here somehow. Okay. And we're gonna make it a little smaller. Yeah. I hope it makes sense. This is not really a question that I can just magically, okay. All right. So the second question is, how many trades should I do per day? First of all, there is no defined number. Okay, let me paste the question. First of all, there is no defined, people tend to think that if they spend a lot of time on the chart, it's necessarily going to make them better traders. Okay, what do you guys think? If I sit in front of the chart, this is, by the way, called the web trader. Okay, just to clarify, how did I get here? To get to this interface, I must log in with my email and password into avatrade.com. Okay, that's all I have to do. I don't have to click anything. I don't have to download anything. I don't have to, just nothing. I just log into AvaTrade, and this is where I'm supposed to be. If I'm not, I should contact the customer service or my senior account manager, and they will apply the interface on my account. Now, my question is this. Do you think necessarily if I spend time on the chart, will I become better? If I spend time on the charts, will I get better? What do you guys think? There is a question here, how many trades should I do per day? Now, I have my biggest problem is not how many trades, is I should trade per day. There is no book where it's written that I should trade every day. Furthermore, to trade few times a day. Okay, strategies are divided to 3 types. Usually, we have scalping. There are more, but you know, intraday, and we have swing. Okay, so for people who swing, for people who scalp, it's the idea is to trade quick positions, right, in and out. So that means, for instance, we're gonna have AUD, Australian Japanese, right, and we're gonna have it 2 hours. Let's make it even 5 minutes. Okay, all right. So if I would be scalping at this point, okay, let's suppose that I'm a beginner. So right now it seems that this is my area, right? Roughly this is what we're trying to capture. If this is my area, so right now I'd be selling in here, if it gets to here, I could buy as an example, right? Again, maybe if it gets, okay, so if I go with the trend, maybe now I would go for a sell, then when it gets here, I'll go for a buy, and then again here when it hits the 89,608, 686, gonna take another sell. But those are 5-minute candles, so that means we're analyzing 1 minute right here, and this is 1 minute candle. Okay, so selling, 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 then again buying, buying, buying. In here it would be buy, sell, buy, sell. Okay. So scalping, how many? And also the question itself, it's referring to a number which nobody can give. I mean, how many trades should I do per day? You can do 10 or 20 or 5, right? It depends on the strategy. So with scalping, there is no number, but it's quick positions in and out. I would say that how many trades should I take per day till you get to the profit that you wanted. Okay, maybe. But I don't have a number. It's impossible to tell. Intraday weekly, right? So if I am doing intraday weekly, this question is not even relevant for me because I'm not trading a few times a day. I'm trading once a day, right? Or not even once a day. Maybe I'm trading, if I will look at this chart and I switch to days, yeah. What will happen is maybe I don't want to trade today because I still feel that it's getting to here, okay, which is something called resistance, right? So maybe I don't want to trade today, and maybe I don't want to trade tomorrow either. So does that means that I'm not good at trading or anything? No, no, absolutely not. That's just a different strategy. That's all. Okay, so I don't have to trade every day. I don't have to trade many times a day, God forbid. I just do what I want to do. Okay, what fits to my lifestyle. I can tell you that people who are scalping do need to spend some time on the computer. It's inevitable. This is why it's called scalping. Okay, intraday weekly will be just, I don't know, occasionally could be a day to, I don't know, a week, and then a week to maybe 2 weeks. Okay, again, there is no really, people always look for, for an exact figure, which doesn't quite work like that all the time. Okay, I have a question here from Max. Can you explain about AvaProtect? Yes, actually I do. I can. Let's see. Let me just rephrase your question a little bit. Okay. Then we're gonna put it here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Let me just, there we go. Okay. Can you explain this is how it goes? Okay. Oh, of course I can. Thank you for the question. So as I was saying, how many trades should I take per day? So there is no number. Okay, the strategies that we have are scalping, intraday, weekly, and swing, which is up to, I don't know, from a month to a year even. Again, there is no specific definitions, but this is just how it is. Let me also somehow paste that on the presentation. I don't know if it will work. We're gonna try. Okay. How much money do I need to open 0.0 with crude oil? Okay. Let me just paste this question quickly. Do we have I almost forgot. I'm so sorry, guys. Do we have any questions about the first question that I've answered? How can I get better, or how many trades should I do per day? Should I take per day? Do we have any questions about anything so far? Something that wasn't fully understood, or anything you would like to add or comment or something? Okay, Jonathan, you're asking if there are only 3 strategies. As I said, it's not exactly like that. There are more. There are many more. I guess there are hundreds or thousands of strategies, but they are all sub-strategies, because at the end of the day, if we grasp, time-wise, so scalping will be on the same day, it will be quick in and out, intraday weekly, and then swing. So I guess if a strategy is long-termish, we can always call it swing. And if it's intraday weekly, so it will always be under this umbrella. So there are probably more. I don't know if this is the only strategies that there are, but I guess that they are they are the main ones, if it makes sense. So okay. All right, so thank you for the question. So how much money do I need? Now let's see how this one can be done with crude oil. So if you remember just a minute ago, I spoke about budget in the first question. So we're gonna put down crude oil and see if it's, there we go. And the question was referring to how much per 0.01. 0.01, how much is that? Let's see. Okay, so 0.01, I would think that this is 1 barrel. What do you guys think? 0.01, is it 1 barrel? How much money do I need? Okay, so the price here, how can I discover how much money do I need? Let's see. Price per barrel is 82.8, right? 0.01, which is 1% of 1,000. That's 10 barrels. The price 82.8 multiplied 10 is 828.5 maybe. Let's keep it as it is. And so this is the value, right? The value is 828. And we have something called leverage, and we have something called there is a question here, amount barrel is number of barrels, so 10 barrels at the moment. Yes, absolutely, that's absolutely correct. The barrels is the units, is the quantities of something that I buy or sell. Okay, but the calculation is universal, so you can use it for whatever you wish. So firstly, I'm gonna state the price. I'm stating 82.8. Now it's 79 and bouncing. 0.01, which is a single percent out of 1,000, that's 10 barrels. Okay, and if I multiply the price by my units, I get 828, which is the value. Now the leverage, as you can see, is 1 to 10. Okay, what is 1 to 10? That means that I can now buy or sell 10 times thanks to leverage. Okay, now because I can buy or sell 10 times bigger, I can basically divide the value, right, by 10. So that means that my margin impact or requirement, right? Yeah, so that means that it becomes 82. Why is that? Because 828 divided by 10, that's 82. Okay, which is here 82. So without leverage, still I would, to be frank, still I would definitely be able to take the position, no problem. Let's try one lot. There we go. So for instance, if I would want to go with one lot, and I would go with the same calculation. So obviously without leverage, this costs way too much. beyond my balance, right? My balance is 10 and the value is 82,000. So that's probably not something I could have done. Thanks to the leverage, my 10 will behave as if I have 100, right? Because I multiplied by 10. And that means that my margin impact is now 10 times less. 10 times less than 82 is 8,200. Okay? So I can take even one lot. Now, what do you guys think about this situation? Is that, regardless if I can do it, is that something that you would have done? Let me just clarify what's happening here. Okay, 10,000, 8,285. That's roughly 82% margin usage. Yeah. So what do you guys think? So there is I can and there is I should. What do you guys think? Right now we have 10,000 in balance. There are no open positions. Flat as it is. Would you open a position that takes 82% of your margin just to take this position? Just that. Okay. Alicia, this is way too high. Maybe it's way too high. That depends. So, from my understanding, you wouldn't do it. Okay, if you're stating that it's too high, that's what I understand. So we understand that there are possibilities. If we bring it back to your 0.01, there are possibilities that I can take a position. Maybe I can. Let's look at what happens in the middle. See, even okay, this one is actually much smaller because you see this without leverage, I would need the same exposure as I'm with leverage for one lot. So that means that 100 barrels would have cost me $8,200. But thanks to the leverage, it's only 10 times less. I want you to understand something quickly, guys, that the leverage is unique and individual. So the 1 to 10 that we had is also on platinum. But if I'm going to take as an example Netflix, or even, you know what, not Netflix, let's go with S&P. Okay, you can see leverage is 1 to 5 here. You can see that with S&P it's 1 to 20, right? Does this make sense? So with 1 to 20, I can divide a value by 20 and not by 10. Okay? Could you do up to 25? This is an excellent question. Thank you so much. Let me just paste, right? Mrs. Upton. This is a good question, but we're gonna address it in a moment. How much money do I need? Okay, so what happens here is we're gonna use the price multiply units equals X, and then we're gonna take the X. Maybe we're gonna call it that it's in a more understandable way. So we have price multiply units equals value, and then we have the value divided by leverage equals margin impact, and the margin impact equals the required amount. All right. Let's actually, I don't know if I can without confusing you guys. Will it work this way? Well, I hope it does. Okay. How can I add more instruments to my plan? Well, this is actually a lovely question, along with the others. So guys, how do I add more instruments to my plan? What do you guys think? Let's suppose I'm trading with oil. Oil is wonderful, wonderful, giving me good results. Okay, I'm making some good money with it. Now I want to add another asset. How do I do it? How do I go about it? What would you do? You now want to add another asset. What do? You just go to the other asset. You're trading the other asset. Occasionally, as much as you're trading with oil. So we have something called, right? Balance comparison. Who can tell me what is balance comparison? Guys, who can tell me? I want to see some more advanced traders, not just beginners. Who can tell me what is balance comparison? Right now, I want to add another asset. I have oil giving me excellent results. Perfect. What does that mean, balance comparison? What am I comparing? Why am I comparing it to the balance? How is this related to the question? Okay, there is an answer here. Cost of buying one compared to another. Okay, interesting. So oil cost 80 and another one cost 50. Okay, could be. So let's suppose that my margin, okay, my margin equals $10,000, right? And right now I'm using, let's suppose I'm using, let's say 30%, okay, maybe 20%, okay, with crude oil to make, let's say 10% a month, okay? Right? So I make 10%, which is $1,000, right? Now, I'm using the 20%. Can I take another asset and use, let's say I want to use another asset and to use 20% with, I don't know, corn, okay, to make another 10%, okay? What do you guys think? Is this gonna cost me a lot of margin? Is this gonna devastate? Is this gonna shake my account financially? Or I should be able to do it comfortably? Another 20%. Yeah, so that means that from my 10, I'm using 2,000. Let's say my position here is roughly 250. Yeah, give or take. And then I want to have another position with corn. What do you guys think? Is this a smart way to add another asset, or it's going to devastate the account? What do you think? Using 10% margin, that's correct. 10% margin, right? Let's suppose if I would be using 50% like this, so I have 50%, and I would want to go with 50%. So instead of 250, I would go for half a lot, right? And I don't want to add another roughly, I go to oil, I go to corn, and I want to add another, yeah, so the other one costed 4,000. This one, let's say that it cost, let's go with half a lot, maybe even a little more. Yeah, so I have oil, 50% margin, and this one also 4,600. Will it be okay? So the first example, I used 20 and 20, which leaves me with, okay, 60%. Okay, so how do I add another asset? By adding another asset, okay, again, we must acknowledge the first thing that we've stated. We've stated that we must have analysis done, risk money management, and then the margin usage and the budget. Budget will be margin balance, right? Yeah, so again, no more than 50%, preferably 25. Could be. Again, by adding another asset, I must remember how much I'm using on my first asset. There is no possibility that I will use. You remember? Let's make it a little more extreme, okay? Okay, so for instance, if I have one lot with corn, I'm usually trading one lot with corn, and I want to add another, I don't know, 40% with oil, I'm gonna be in a problem. So with this example, I have 40% use and 60% free. Okay. With the second example, how much do I have? Second example, if I have 40 and in here I have 40, then what I have left is just that. Okay? So by adding more assets, it doesn't matter if it's one asset or two or five. Okay? The more assets I add, I have to always compare what I am left with. What kind of margin I am left with. Who knows why I have to do all of that, and I can't just take another asset because I'm a free spirit and I want to just you know, I don't feel like doing all of that. Okay, what if I'm lazy? Let's suppose that I'm lazy. I don't want to do any of that. What can happen if I don't have enough margin? What happens if Danny is not going to do balance comparison? What do you think? Let me tell you a secret, guys. My position will be closed. Will be closed. Okay, our teacher at school said I was a free spirit. Well, anyway, guys, none of this is mandatory, but keep in mind, if you are not going to manage your margin in a smart way, and you're just going to add more and more assets, sometimes I see that clients trading, you know, tens of assets, tens of instruments. You got to make sure that you have enough margin to cover all of that. Otherwise, if you can't comply, the margin is going to, the position is going to be closed. Okay, make sure to do it wisely. Otherwise, it shouldn't be, like I said, if, for example, it would be in like that, right? I wouldn't have any problem. I'm just using 20%. Anyway, do we have any questions regarding this segment? Because I would like to carry on, and I think it's pretty much understood. Do we have any questions regarding that point? Ooh, what just happened here? Okay. I wish I could somehow. Oh, did it work? Seems like it. Maybe I can't. Oops. Okay, never mind. Let's just. How can I make it without? There we go. Just gonna, okay. I really hope that people will understand what's happening here. Otherwise, you know what? You can just see the recorded version. You can just see the recorded version. This is what, there we go. You see, moving a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, and it happens. So the last one, how can I get a senior account manager? Guys, I've only received 3 questions so far, so I can take another 2. If you guys have any more questions, this is the time. We still have another roughly time for that. Okay, so the third one, the last one is how can I get the senior account manager? Guys, this is maybe the most common questions that I keep on getting every webinar. Who knows what a senior account manager does? Who can tell me what it does? Senior account manager. If I'm experienced, do I need a senior account manager? Yes. If I'm a beginner, do I need a senior account manager? Yes and yes. Guys, an account manager can get an overview about the account and to give you reports and to give you numbers and statistics exactly where you're standing with your margin and balance comparison. Furthermore, it can assist you with analysis. And we are one of the only brokers in the world who is giving senior account manager services, no charge. Okay? What AvaTrade is charging is spreads and swaps, but beside that, the senior account manager doesn't charge a penny. So when you make a deposit and the account is up and running, go and get yourself a senior account manager. The way to do that is through the live chat or to send an email to cs@avatrade.com. Okay, just use it. Use the service. It's for free. Yeah, so this is how you can get a senior account manager. Just so I'm gonna put here, make a deposit and contact customer service for customer service for assignment, right? Yeah, so this is how it's done, and we are moving on to we still have another 15 minutes. Guys, before I'm answering those questions, gonna share with you the link quickly. Okay, so we're gonna paste you guys some links through the chat section for you to enjoy. This one is for the app. It's not only on the computer, we also have it on the app, which I've just shared the link through the chat. There is a question here. Are there UK and US stocks on the platform? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. When you go to the list, you can see here left hand side you have the categories. So if you go to stocks, you have your US, right? You can also find the UK version if your account is UK based, right? Unless something have changed and I'm not really aware of, but as far as I'm concerned, you can find UK and US stocks. Okay, maybe we've removed it, but I highly doubt it. So just it's worth checking. The question one, the second one is the no, I don't think so. The third one is the FAQ and the help center. Oops. Yes, just the US for now. The fourth is the real account. Yeah, this is for the real account, and this is for the academy, right? To get more tutorials and videos and so on. And usually, I used to do it in previous webinars. I used to do it to give you the Q&A benefit at the end of the webinar, but people got upset because they didn't have time to copy and paste it, which really I understand. So I'm gonna give you the promotion code right now, guys. Okay, this is the Q&A benefit. Once you've activated the account and you've made a deposit, the account is up and running, you got yourself a senior account manager, you can get a nice one-on-one premium market review with a senior account manager. And as you know, my personal opinion, there is nothing more helpful than that, because they can cover everything that I have said in the beginning. So analysis, risk money management, and the budget, the balance comparison. So go ahead and use this code after you've made a deposit. Just give it to your senior account manager to get the market review, and let's attend the questions that we have. So AvaSocial. In fact, I have, okay, $336 equity. I use different options in the platform, but when the trader make a trade, the copy is disabled. Okay. This is a little too technical for me to explain, but I think that you must have the same margin to the one you're following. You must have computable balance. Oops. Right? To execute and follow your trader. That's what I think. If I don't know which position your trader is taking, but if he's taking positions that you're supposed to have because you have the margin, I recommend you will contact the your senior account manager, and he will check particularly this case, because I'm not 100% sure. It seems, I don't know, there could be many reasons. I don't know. It's a little more customer service inquiry than a question for our live Q&A, but okay, can you explain about AvaProtect? Oh, I'm so very sorry. We don't have time for that, but I'll try. Can do up to 25% margin total between all trades. Then need at least 12.5 additional margin free, which gives quite a bit spare. Is if get drawn. Okay. Okay, so this one is not really, this needs to be elaborated, right? Who asked this question about the utilization? Whoever asked this question, I think that this was the answer, right? This was the answer, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. Otherwise, I would be happy if. Can I also use analysis views if I'm a beginner? Yeah, of course, of course. There is a question here by Itumeleng, right? Mokate. The question, can I also use analysis views if I'm a beginner? Absolutely yes. Furthermore, I can show you also the section that we have over here. Okay, if I click on the three lines at the corner left upper corner, so what I can find in Discovery is that I have analysis views. Okay, and in analysis views, I can find all kind of information regarding my technical analysis. I can find here support and resistance. I can find what's the pivot point. I can scroll down to find the assets that I'm more interested in. You can see that it's relevancy, time listed. It's very nice. There is also a lovely picture here with the chart. Okay. Let's go with commodities. Yeah, so you can see it's very various. Okay, and you can find the analysis views if you're a beginner. And this question is actually excellent. I don't think that it's regarding only beginners. I think that's also intermediate and advanced. Okay. And what else is here that I like very much is the calendar. Calendar, okay, which you can filter the things that are relevant for you. You can see that there are core inflation rate, DIMON for March, this last month. Okay, and if there are things here that I like in particular. You can see here, it's going to be, oh, something just happened and made it scroll up. But anyway, regardless, I can click here. Okay, and then it's going to mark everything. Obviously, I'm not interested in everything, but I can just click it again. Then it clean the list. Okay, and then I can pick if I want only UK maybe, or I can add US. Then I can get rid of UK. Yeah, and it stays here. So this is the economic calendar. It lets me see the reports and understand a bit better what's upcoming that is important for me to know. You can see here that everything that is gray, I accidentally went too far, I think. Okay, so things that are gray are, let me get to that again. No, it doesn't give me, it seems like it doesn't give me what I had before, which is very unfortunate. Let me try and anyway, things that are gray, maybe I can get to the discovery again and it will reset. I wish I was good with technology as much as I'm with trading. No, it doesn't show it at the moment because it just showed today. But I can choose from today till tomorrow maybe. There you go. And I have from today, okay, till let's say a week, maybe 2 weeks even. Okay, and I can, let's go backward. There we go. There we go. As you can see, what is gray over here is things that already occurred. Okay, and I can see by the actual. If things hasn't happened yet, it's not going to show the actual. Obviously, it's going to just show the forecast in the previous, okay, which we had. But if it's gray and it has the actual here, that means that things already occurred. Okay, and if I click inside and I want to see the specifications, I can find the details. Sorry, I can find the details and I can get more information. I can even see the chart here, the volatility. And it's very, very nice and useful. Here you can find the time. Here you can find the instrument, okay, and the date, as you can see. And it's very, very helpful. The margin impact, the impact on the market is how impact it will have, how much of an impact it will have. So if I want to only look at things that are relevant and they're going to have massive fluctuations, I'll look at high impact. I'm going to go with medium, so things that are a little less, we're going to feel them a little lighter. And if I'll go with low, so things that are less relevant, let's put it this way, I'm not going to find them on the news maybe. Okay. Anyway, this is about analysis. This is how I can find, this is for technical analysis. This is a little more fundamental analysis. Here I have some ideas. Okay, as you can see here, they're explaining me about the hammer. Hammer will be with the big tail at the bottom and then facing up. As you can see here, I have the head and I have here the handle. Very, very interesting. Okay. All right, so guys, we still have another 3 minutes. I'm pretty much covered with everything that I wanted to show you and teach you guys today. So we have 3 more minutes. If there are any more questions, feel free to shoot it in a question section. Otherwise, we can disclose. Is there an equivalent to book viewer and bookmark for the UK and the other countries? I'm not too sure. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure. This is something to address your senior account manager. Okay, I don't have a solution up my sleeve regarding the book viewer. Okay, but you can mark in the store. You can mark them in the store, right? Let's see if it does that. You see, if you put it here, add to calendar, so it's gonna add it to your calendar, right? If you can log to your account with Google, then it's gonna. I don't know if you work with Google, but I think if you add it to the Google, it's just gonna remember the time and date, right? It's gonna remember that it's happening in very soon. Yeah, but other than that, I don't think I have an immediate solution. Okay. All right, guys. We mainly covered everything that we wanted, and additionally 2 or 3 questions, right? Maybe another question or so. And that's it for today. Okay, so we're gonna carry on next week at the same time. So thank you all for coming for the live Q&A. It's been a pleasure. Whoever learned anything. And that's it. So I wish you all best of luck with your trading, and have a very, very good day. Thank you so much.